crazy how some women light the match and blames you for the fire. But a lot of people don't understand that it's not her curves or hair, her makeup or her eyeliner that kind of gets guys caught up in the body and things like that. Nine times out of 10, what happens is that a lot of these young men out here, they get so caught up into the woman that they forget who they are, and they don't understand the rules of the game is all about who can tear down whose self-worth. And the women know when they walk into the room looking a certain kind of way, it kind of tears down the self-worth of the individual. And that's what we're going to talk about today, and that's what we're going to be discussing, because a lot of guys are like, wait a second, you're looking good and everything like this, but you're not making any sense here. In one sense, you seems like you're interested and you're dressed in a certain way, but another sense, when I try to talk to you or try to pick you up or something like that, you're trying to shut me down. I want to slow this down because some of you guys hear this. And listen, there's nothing wrong with looking at an attractive woman. I always say there's nothing wrong with trying to find an attractive woman and things like that. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just that a lot of you guys are just not gaming it out correctly. See, gentlemen, the thing is that's why a lot of guys get played in the game, because the moment they see a beautiful woman, their self-worth or their low self-esteem starts to kick in, and then they start playing by the rules of the woman and not the rules of the game. And the thing about the rule of the game is that it's okay to look at a woman. I always used to call it, when I was young, window shopping. I would always go window shopping, and that's fine. It's okay to look at the item. It's okay to admire the item. Hell, you can even say that item looks good. But where women know those that are weak, that don't have the game, is that the fool himself will go inside and open up his wallet and ignore the price tag. And that's the problem. Ignores the fact that, you know what, this woman might not be for him, but just because she looks good. And that's what happens to a lot of men every day. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I mean, a woman may give you a little smile and everything like that. She may talk to you a little bit, and it might feel really good when she's doing that, but it's not for what you guys think it is. A lot of you guys forget that, hey, okay, yes, she's smelling good, she's looking good, but in that moment, sometimes we forget our standards and what we are. And when you forget your standard and you forget the game, you then begin to play her game, and that's the problem. So many guys are playing the game of the woman that they forget about who they actually are. And the guys, again, I know some guys who have low self-esteem, and a lot of guys that don't believe in themselves kind of get caught up in the turmoil of the woman. And a lot of guys are always scratching their heads saying to themselves, you know, I don't understand it. But let's be real. Women know beauty is power. And then please understand that. With that being said, not every woman is trying to manipulate you, but it's just a ripple effect that happens when her bra is the right size and it pushes up her titties. The outfit is the right size and it grabs her ass the right way. It's just that sometimes it just happens that way. Women sometimes dress more for other women than men. It's crazy. But they know the right picture is always going to get the right reaction. They know the right angle, the right walk, the right voice, the little laugh or the soft laugh. They are quite aware of all this stuff. And your job, gentlemen, is not to get mad because she knows how sexual tension works. Your job is to learn how your mind works in the process of walking up on a woman that knows how sexual attraction works. And that's what we are going to discuss, because, gentlemen, here's the truth. All right, a man can be disciplined, okay? But I'm telling you, man, every guy has his thing, man. And it's funny. It could be ass, it could be titties, it could be hips, it could be thighs, it could be several things. It's several things. Every man has his thing, you know what I mean? And he sees a woman and he loses and he moves off his square, he stops to ask the $1 million question. Is she worthy of me? Does she qualify for me? Is she worthy of my time? Is she worthy of my attention? Is she worthy to come into the kingdom? That's why I always tell you, when I see a woman, my mind, listen, just like you, I like women that have certain things on their body. I'm just like you guys. But just like what I keep trying to tell you, when it comes to window shopping 101, I see the item in the window, but it's not a thing of if I can afford it, if I can't afford it, should I get it and why? Meaning that, should I go over there and talk to her? Most guys don't understand when women walk into a club or something like that, they know how to trigger your appetite and they know how to get you stirred up. They know how to make you move in a different way. But we got to look at this. We got to look at the primitive side of how this is going, okay? Because every man has an instinct in him, okay? Yes, they want beauty. They want pleasure, okay? They love certain things of women and they love the fantasy, okay? And that's not a problem, okay? There's a part of you that wants what you want, and that's fine. It doesn't make you a bad person or anything like that. But what makes all this bad is how you operate under the construct of who you are. Because once you look at something that you want more than you want yourself, it starts to really mess with your self-esteem, and it starts to really mess with your insecurity, and it kind of holds you down and holds you back. And I want to let y'all guys know that, look, a man with no self-control, man, is not masculine. He's dangerous to himself because he's easy to control. He'll embarrass himself easy. He'll do more. And women know this. It's just a lot of guys don't understand this. And they know a woman can tell a guy that they can get easy like that. I mean, and again, this is not to hype women up, but I always want to be honest with you about your opponent. But in another sense, I'm not here to scare you about women and make you feel like they're bad people or, you know, a big bad wolf under the bed. You can win in this, and I'll discuss how you can win. But a lot of y'all guys don't understand how women lead. Women know and love to lead with sexuality, okay? They know how to draw you in, but then they know how to stomp your ass out. Sometimes, and again, women can be evil. Women can fuck with your insecurities, make you feel good about yourself, and then tear you down. But this is why the solution is not blaming women or getting mad at women. The solution is mastering yourself. That's the key to all this. You see, a lot of the human males, they will always get mad at women for being attractive. But when you learn the game, you learn how to stay grounded around attractive women. I mean, here's the thing. We all like things that are beautiful to our eyes. That's true. We like those things, so that's not a bad thing. But why would you get mad at something that you find beauty in? It's kind of a frustrating push and pull that can really bother you. Okay, and you know, and when y'all lose and get mad at women, it's like, you know, she made me do this, or she made me feel that way, and, you know, she made me act like that, and, you know, I lowered myself. And again, man, when you have the game, you stop carrying the gasoline. That's the difference. And that's what I want you guys to understand in all this. You gotta know that a woman's beauty, gentlemen, is not automatically value. See, what people are not going to tell you about women is that behind that exterior, behind the curves, behind the ass, behind the titties, behind all that stuff, is a woman that is actually very insecure. And let's talk about this. And I'd love to give you a full detail breakdown of why that is, gentlemen. And the reason why that is, and most people don't understand, is because a lot of women have low self-esteem, low self-worth, and a low self-image. And sometimes what they do is they just wear the makeup and the clothes to validate. It's like, and again, I'm not calling them whores, but that's like attention whoring. Meaning that, gentlemen, something I always knew when I was young, the prettier she is, the greater insecurities. Most people don't even know this. Did you know that the women that you were interested in high school were always lonely on Saturday nights and Friday nights? Because no one would go out with them, because nobody would talk to them, or they thought they already had somebody, and they were lonely, insecure, and broken at that point. And that carries over into adulthood. And that's where I think a lot of guys misinterpret the game and everything. You see, I'm not here to look or tear a woman down, but I know that her power point in her base is in the power of her pussy, which she thinks she is. And most women out there cover up and hide their insecurities. Guys, it could be one strand of a white piece of hair will break her. A little bit of cellulite will break her. A wrinkle will break her. And if you, I used to always tell you this back in the 90s. Look at the commercials in the daytime. If you're home and you're off work or something like that, look at the commercials. All the commercials are there to help women cover up their beauty and augment their beauty and help them to look quote unquote younger and not older. That's where the sauce is, okay? And that is why, as a man, you should be able to window shop and look at the woman, but you gotta realize that what's behind the woman is going to give you the superpower, gentlemen, and that's part of the game. Because the moment you ask what else is there, okay, you take the power out of the tactic, not out of the woman, but out of the tactic. That matters to a woman so much because she knows how to suck average guys' intentions quickly, okay? But see, that tactic will always lose power when you stop the tactic of her beauty, when you guys stop acting like she's the prize, okay? Women are so used to these guys out here melting over them and loving everything. And then, again, I can't make the rules up. I know it's messed up. Make a guy melt and then smash him. You know what? Light that flame, blame him for the fire. It happens, gentlemen. But you know what Smokey the Bear always said, only you can prevent forest fires. Or you remember I was in the when I was in the 4-H club when I was small, like I think second to third grade, don't laugh at me. The 4-H club, don't join, you know, spinach, rice, and macaroni, any fucking way. Anyway, so, you know, we always used to know, you know, Smokey tell when you're on fire, you stop, drop, and roll. When she sets the fire, it's okay, window shop. But ask yourself the $1 million question, okay? Ask it. What else is there? Yes, I see her ass, I see her titties. But gentlemen, that's not who she is. That is just a mythical thing that she has created, because behind those curves, behind the push-up bra, behind all those things that you see, is a woman that struggles with her insecurities and everything. And that's what we're talking about. And this is where it gets interesting in the game, because, you know, sometimes the makeup is confidence. Sometimes the makeup, sometimes the outfit can be style. But all this attention seeking is, you have to understand, this is an insecure woman, okay? Sometimes she's wearing all this stuff just for you to tell her that she's enough. She just wants to hear somebody tell her that she's enough. And that's the crazy thing. Now remember, guys, this isn't knocking women or tearing women down. You know, women are always going to be insecure. That's just what makes them women. But what gives them power is a person telling them she's sexy, she's beautiful, and she's gorgeous. You never tell a woman she's sexy, beautiful, and gorgeous, because in her eyes, she's saying, okay, tell me that I'm enough. And then once you tell me I'm enough, then I'm gonna squash your dreams, because you're not gonna get this. I'm just dangling the fruit in your face. Guys, back in the day when they used to have cartoons, they used to have a donkey. They put a carrot on the stick far enough for the donkey where he feels like he's going to get the carrot, but he's going to move forward. That's how women are doing. She wants to know, am I enough? You tell me I'm enough. Once you tell me I'm enough, then I'm gonna squash your dreams. I don't need you anymore. I've sucked all like a vampire, sucked all that out of you. Now you're not enough for me, okay? And see, that is the control women have, but I'm not saying that we're trying to tear women down. But this is how you become different from the crowd. This is how you change the game up, by ignoring her like an adult would ignore a child that's crying sometimes, okay? Not by acting cold and not acting mean or anything like that. It's just you have to wake up from the spell in which her body. Remember, guys, that's what the fitting room is for. When they go find that push-up bra, that fitting room has all 4 mirrors so they can turn around and look at all the angles, because the mirror is saying, okay, these are all the angles that the average guy is going to look at when he gets around you. And this is what he's going to like about you. And here's the thing. Every angle is a different guy, because certain guys like certain angles. Some guys like to curve that way and a curve that way. Some guys like to curve this way. So every guy is different, but that's why they have those fitting rooms, okay? I just want y'all to know that as long as you learn the rules of the game, you're gonna win. And here's the rule. When she lights that match, don't panic. Don't run towards the flame, okay? Don't start performing. Don't start buying dinners and sending her paragraphs and allowing her to sit on your throne and to wear your crown. Don't do that, because the moment that you do that, she knows that you have you. Oh, she has you, gentlemen, okay? You have to be cooler than the other side of the pillow. You got to show her that you've been here before, and that's how it works. And when you can show her that you're cooler than the other side of the pillow, you can show you've been here, guess what? A woman like that can't control you, because a man that has direction is a man that cannot be controlled, okay? And this is the part that so many young men miss, because attention is cheap. I'm telling you, women can get attention from anybody, even wearing a potato sack, okay? All right? What I'm saying is very important here is not to get caught up in the bait, because remember, so many guys are looking at the bait, but they're not looking at the hook that's attached to the bait, or they're not looking at the person throwing the bait in the water, getting deeper on that level. There is nothing wrong with walking up to a woman. There's nothing wrong with talking to a woman. But once a woman can recognize, gentlemen, that you are not impressed by what you see, that's going to change the game. That's going to make her say, you know what? Who are you? And what that's going to do is open that loop up. But if you're going in impressed, you're going in like every other guy that she has met all her life. And that's why we have to change the game up. Because as long as you hand over your spine, your balls, and your heart over to a woman, you are going to lose, man. And she's going to win. And I don't want women to win in this game with you and take advantage of you, chew you up and spit you out. That's what's so important, okay? All right? Just remember, guys, if you become hungry, you will be predictable. She knows how you respond. She knows how you're going to chase. She knows that you're going to forgive all of her disrespect, her attitude, and everything under the sun. She knows how to turn the heat up. She knows how to turn it down. She knows how to move you to the left and to the right. So this is why, gentlemen, you've got to learn this game. And if you learn the game the right way, you're going to be fine, okay? But when you have the standard, one thought, one mind, one way, one of one, and you are a rare breed of a man, everything is going to change. She can look good in a motherfucker. She'll be fine, right? But she still has to be respectful. She can be charming with that thick, fat ass, all right? But she still has to be consistent. She can have those dick-sucking lips, gentlemen, right? But guess what? She still has to show you action and effort if she wants to be in your life. That's the difference, gentlemen, in the game. All right? She can have a million men around, but you should be the only one she thinks about, and that's the game that we're trying to tell you, gentlemen. So the next time you see a woman, I don't want you to get caught up in what you think you're gonna get caught up with. I want you to realize who you are, realize your standard, and understand that you have the power, man. You have the power. And my dogs, if you have that power, put 100 in the comments. Show me that you're that guy that can walk up to that woman. You have the power, you have the control, and you're not gonna get caught up in women. There's nothing wrong with looking at ass and titties, guys. It's okay to window shop, but don't go in and buy. Don't go in and purchase. That's important, guys. Well, guys, that's the end of our video, but not the end of our discussion, gentlemen. Always remember the band is out, gentlemen. We do have the band out. And also, gentlemen, what we do have for you guys is, we added a new video for the pathway to understand how the 3 things lock in, but you'll see that if you get your pathway. But gentlemen, I just want to say to you guys out here, if you're not ready to learn the game, not ready to get your pathway, not ready to get the band and learn how to change everything up, guys, we have live shows, we have YouTubes, we have shorts. We try to put out game every day because the game doesn't sleep. And you need to know the real ones from the ones that's just grabbing things out of the sky. But guys, let me tell you something. If you enjoyed this video right here, man, see that video right here? This one. That one right there. You're gonna love that video right there, man. So gentlemen, soak up this game, man. If you need me, holla at me. It's your boy, the Dean. Peace.